What's up and welcome. I am Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer from South Africa. In this video, I'm going to show you in detail how I have designed this awesome fintech application. As you can see on the screen, this is my Android phone. If you are wondering how I did this, I am using an app called Let's View to connect my actual phone to the laptop. And I am using an app called Expo Go to run the application on my phone. Want to know more about those? Please check more of my videos in my channel. Now, let's get into it. So I'm going to press this fintech app. As you can see, guys, it's loading. It's going to take some time. This is acting as a splash screen, but obviously this video is not about that. This video, it's about this design, okay? The design of it. This is coded design. So we are about coding and design. As you can see, guys, this has got an onboarding screens, okay? So what you can do, you can just press next here to go to another screen and then press next here to go to another screen. Obviously, you can contact me here in case you want to ask me anything. And then from then, let's get started. Okay, this is the login screen. This is a fintech app. So this video is going to be about the design of it. Okay, why the design is important. I am Matthew Msingati, the designer and a developer. In my design and development career, specifically the development career, the design has helped me at least to get jobs and also to design and develop awesome user interfaces. Design plays a major role in your overall user interface in terms of development. Most companies, they are looking for developers, but the tech startup companies that are still small are looking for guys who are developers, yes, front end engineers, yes, but at least who knows something about Figma, something about Photoshop, something about Illustrator, or sometimes maybe Corel Draw. So this series or this video is going to show you how I have designed this screen. So when you click login here, as you can see, guys, you are taken into this awesome screen. Okay, since I'm using Let's View and I'm not using a paid version of it, as you can see, the screen that you see here is not as quite clear. Hence, I'm using some pictures or the screens that you see now in order to show you the actual quality. I hope you are going to enjoy this course and you are going to enjoy this entire video. Okay, now let's jump to buy me a coffee. I used not to be a fan of a coffee. Okay, in case you might want the source code, guys, in case you might want the code of this application, please just check my buy me a coffee, and this only cost one coffee, which I believe it's $5. With $5 you can get this awesome UI. Okay, so please, guys, go there and support Matthew. Okay, without wasting time, guys, I hope you're going to enjoy this video. Let's just jump straight into it. Thank you so much. This screen has not been designed by us. This is not my screen. It's something that I took from a website, Free Pick. So this means that this is not my own work. Why I've decided to look for something from the internet. As you get into app development or web design or app design or graphic design or front end, you tend to come up with your own project, with your own screens, with your own ideas and creativity, which is good because you are creating from within. You are a creative person. You are trying to generate your original ideas, which is good. But sometimes that can be limiting because nothing can come out of you except what you know. So, meaning that you are going to be perfect only on things that are within your capacity or capability. So, by me going to the internet, it's my own way of trying to tap into somebody else's creativity and try to bring that into front end. This is the question that I'm trying to answer. If I'm saying I'm becoming a better developer or a front end engineer, Can I take somebody else's work and be able to produce that? So in this video, we are going to take this screen that I've took from FreePic, and then we are going to create a front end for it. So what you see here, we are going to translate it and make it like a live UI, mobile UI using React Native, specifically Expo. So that's what we are going to do in this series. How different is this series from like your normal YouTube series? I happen to be a graphic designer, but and a coder at the same time. So as I'm getting into this journey of this dual nature, like studying things from design and then ended up coding them, and then after coding them in the front end and end up doing the back end, connecting to database, MongoDB, GraphQL, I'm starting to see some patterns. Okay. I'm not perfect. I'm not a guru, but I'm starting to see some patterns that I thought this is worth sharing. Okay. So in this series, I'm going to start from graphic design, where we will explain concept, things that will affect us later, and also things that becomes a problem in the production line if maybe the designer is not aware of development. Okay, so I'm hoping to share my experience and walk you through everything, more especially if you are a beginner. Okay, the design aspect will help you to understand things conceptually, things that I cannot explain when I'm coding. Okay, so with that being said, my experience with React Native and Expo. Okay, recently, I have published my own, not necessarily my own because it's for a client, okay? I have published an app on Google Play, okay? Using Play Console, okay? As you can see, okay, as you can see, these are the issues that I have faced, okay? These are my screens, which have been highlighted by Google. These screens are extracted from Google from a bundle. Let me just say from a setup. You know, when you are installing a setup on Windows, which has got a .exe, like maybe it's a VLC or it's a web application. Okay, so I did that using Expo, and the extension of it, it's .aab. It's some sort of Android what bundle. Okay, but in short, it's like a setup. Okay, so I did that and I uploaded it on my Google console. And then in that process, a very long process which has got ups and downs, fix this, fix that. Your app has been rejected. One of the things that the Google console highlighted, it's my user interface. As you can see, they have extracted automatically all my screens, and then here they are telling me the sizes of my button are too small. So they might have a problem with some devices. Okay, so in this series, these are the things that we are going to discuss. Okay, it's not like we are just going to get into coding and come up with beautiful screen, but the question is, can this screen be functional? Okay, is it up to standard? Okay, I don't want you to be like me, design proper element, user interface element, but when they get into some sort of live production on App Store, and then they might be rejected by Google because the buttons are too small. Okay, so this is just an idea, just to give you the things that we are going to discuss about, or what's the value for you in this series. Okay, so here is what Google recommended. Consider making this clickable item larger. As you can see, this item's height is 40 dp. Okay, consider making the height of this touch target to 48 dp. Okay, so DP stands for density independent pixel. Obviously, we are not going to get into details in those things that me, even myself, I'm not an expert of. Okay, and also this video is not about that. Okay, this video is about us, people who are hustlers, people who are pushing, people who are trying to become better developers. So we're not going to come up with bombastic terms that we don't even know. But the only thing that we have to know about DP is that in mobile screen, okay, if you set something as a pixel, which means it has got some sort of a definite width and height, or it's more like it's rigid, okay? But now, obviously, as you know, that mobile devices have got some sort of, what can I say, different widths and height, okay? So meaning that if you use your units as dp, okay, it means that that width and height, it's independent of the pixel, it's not rigid, okay? For instance, let me just give you a very practical example. Let's say you make a 3 by 2 button, okay? Let's not be specific about 3 pixel or 3 whatever. And then it looks good on the landscape version of your application. But what if then somebody switches the orientation of the application? As you can see, now the application is more wider, okay? It's more wider than being like in a portrait upright, okay? So obviously now maybe that button which you have defined in pixel, it will be something like this. Let's say, as you can see that looking at this, okay, looking at this versus this screen, this doesn't look good, okay? So the dp, I think it some sort of solves those problems so that you can have units that are flexible enough to some sort of look good in all screens. Okay, so here I just wanted to tell you these are the things that we are going to discuss about. This is some sort of a beginner friendly what can I say, series. And also we are not starting from coding. We are going to discuss a lot of concept, and I'm going to load tons and tons of knowledge with this theory and how we are going to do things. As you can see also here, Google had a problem with my inputs, okay? They were too small. Obviously, one might ask, like, what do you mean too small? Okay, to be honest, they are not too small in such a way that they are not reusable. Okay, they are usable. When I'm testing on my mobile application, you can click and type, but these are recommendations from Google. And what else can we do, guys? Can we say, no, Google is wrong, we are right? Remember, Google owns the platform, okay? Maybe they've got more than million devices running their own system. So we might as well design in such a way that we what can I say? We conform to their standard, okay? So enough about this. What else do I want to share? Okay. Also, how are we going to attack this project? Okay, as you can see now, I'm in a graphic design application, okay, which is Corel Draw. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to not necessarily design the screens. Why we are not going to design the screens? Because the screens are already here. Okay, how the application is supposed to look in real life and in the mobile phone, and also we're going to test it in a mobile phone. Okay, so it's supposed to look like this. So that means minus one problem. But however, I took this from the internet, remember? So meaning that we can't just when we want to use the background, we use this as it is, because this is a JPEG, okay? This is a JPEG, it's an image, it has got this app and welcome, of which in real life, this is going to come from like some sort of a code perspective, okay? So we will need to have a background without what? Without this text and these icons. Obviously, in terms of the icon, we might create our own, or we might even trace this one just to get this exactly as it is, okay? So this means that we have to use a graphic design program to create some sort of graphic assets. Okay, what do I mean by that? We need to create that nice background, okay, without this, so that we can use it on React Native Expo. And then as you can see here, also we've got that nice pattern there. We need to recreate that pattern using a graphic design program so that we can use it. And also here, as you can see, we've got some nice background there, okay? This is not something that we are going to do using programming, which is on Expo, because I mean, it's going to be a unnecessary complexity. Okay, as you can see here, Google is warning us about a lot of things. And also, what I've noticed about publishing an app on Google, you need to be efficient. Okay, meaning that the bundle size of your application, which is some sort of the setup that the users install, it must be as small as possible. Okay, it works if it's lightweight, so that to improve the user experience. Okay, I've also got frustrated by installing like applications that take too long. Okay, so with that being said, it means that we have to some sort of share the workload. Okay, if there are things that we can quickly do with graphic design and they are going to be lightweight, maybe it's going to be a PNG that we can use, we can do that instead of coding this kind of a thing, okay, unnecessarily, which might increase the bundle size of our application. Okay, guys, that's about it for this video. If you want to join me in this journey where we will be using what can I say, um Google's standard, and also we will be using not necessarily APIs, but we will be using documentation, like we will be using React Native documentation, we will be using stack navigation, checking documentations in order for us to get this exactly as it is. Okay, if you want to join me, don't forget to subscribe. But that's about it for this video. In the next video, we are going to jump into CorelDRAW and design these. The designing aspect is not going to be too long, to be honest, because we are just designing few things, not everything. Maybe it's going to be this logo, this background, and this background. So we're just going to create like three assets, which is going to be very quick and swift. And then from then, we are going to get into coding. If you like such videos like these, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm Matthew Msengati, the designer and developer. See you on the next one. Now, let's start with designing a splash screen. Okay, what is a splash screen? Obviously, when you're loading an app, as it processes in the background, calling APIs, fetching information, loading the fonts, it displays some sort of a waiting screen to the user. Okay, now we need to design that. That's the first thing. So, what's the approach? What are we going to do? Are we just going to come up with screen sizes on top of our head and design and then fall into a problem of React Native or Expo rejecting our screen? Or what's the thing? Okay, based on my experience and the app that I have uploaded on, I'm busy uploading on Play Store. Okay, the best thing that we can do, we need to some sort of stick to or stand on top of the shoulders of the giants. This is what I mean by that. React Native Expo, they've got a splash screen, okay, and they've got the sizes of the splash screen, okay. So if we can use their own sizes, okay, as a some sort of a guiding template instead of us creating on our own sizes that Expo will reject at the end of the day, okay. So what I did, I went to the internet and I have checked for screen sizes, and I got this guide from Expo. Okay, this is the size of their screen, as you can see. This is the size of their screen. So what I did, or what I can even do, this is Figma. A designing application which I can say it's suitable for designing, what can I say, user interfaces. This is the best, as far as I'm concerned, web application for designing user interface. But one might ask, why then are you using CorelDRAW? Because here on CorelDRAW, to be honest, we are not really designing, because as you can see, this interface has been designed already, but we are recreating some assets like these backgrounds. Okay, and based on that, on my some sort of expertise, my skill, okay, I'm comfortable with CorelDRAW when it comes to drawing some sort of a little bit of concept, sorry, a little bit of complicated, what can I say, graphics. Okay, as you can see here, we must have these shades and whatever. These are the things that I'm not comfortable if I can do those with Figma. With Figma, I like to use Figma for the layouts, the responsiveness, and all other things. So with that being said, let's just say this screen, okay, so that we can take exactly the sizes as they are, so that we can design the splash screen, okay. This is from Expo. So we are going to select this, and then as you can see, this is the width and this is the height. So we need to stick to this width and height. So we are going to export this, okay. I've already exported it. As you can see now, it's saying in bracket 1, but I was just showing you how can you export this. Okay, what else? I think I got into this from this screen. I would like to assume I have clicked here on Figma template. So if you might want to get this, you might go to this link and then click here. And then obviously, if you don't have a Figma account, you just have to create your Figma account and it's free. Okay. And that's it. So what we are going to do, we are going to import that image here. Okay. Let's check on download. Here is that image. Go to Corel Draw and drop it there. Okay. I hope it's going to be dropped there. Okay. Here it is. Let me just cut it here. I was supposed to drop it here. Okay. As you can see, here is that image. Obviously, we don't see it now, and that's not a problem. Okay. So looking at this, what are the dimensions? Okay, as you can see, it's 1284 by 2778. Okay, the first thing that you will see here, there are no units. Okay, we don't know if these are millimeters or these are kilometers or whatever. Obviously, it cannot be kilometers, but I'm just making an example. Okay, um, just by knowing that the screens are small, or in digital world, which is the screen for PCs, mobiles, and other devices, you might think that these are pixel, obviously. So you can make this a pixel and this a pixel. So let's just quickly go through that and prove that these are not pixels. Okay. So what I did, I've imported this. Okay, I've imported this, and then as you can see, that 1284, okay, you get this 1284 and this 2278. Obviously, I'm rounding off here. When you make your units pixels, your, sorry, points, okay. So if we might have made a mistake and thought that these are pixels, let's see what we will get. Where are my pixels? Here are my pixels. As you can see, we've got 5,349, and this is not this. And also, do they have the recommendation of the sizes here? Okay, Expo didn't really some sort of mentioned the dimensions here. Okay, but in this template they are here. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 124 to 1284, and here is that 1284 on Corel Draw. Okay, but when your units are the points, okay, as you can see. Okay, so what we can do now that we are clear and we know that we are like on the right path, this is the right thing to do, and the sizes are correct. So let's just scale this down a little bit. Okay, scale this down a little bit, and then go to Figma and copy this as it is. Okay, the width, go to Corel Draw. Remember, you can also use, let me close this. You can also use Illustrator to do this, or any graphic design application of your choice. Even Adobe XD can work. Okay. Okay, let's make the width to be the copy and paste. Okay, as you can see, and then just take the height, copy and paste. Okay, guys, so now if we take a screenshot, or let's change our background, okay, so that we can see where the image ends. Okay, move this to the back, let me say behind this. Then I can remove those borders, and then we can center this. Okay, obviously we don't really see because it's transparent. That's not much of a problem, but you can see its own corners. Okay, meaning that we can use rulers to some sort of get an idea of where it ends. Okay, we want to see, is that equivalent to our own canvas, okay, in terms of the size, or is it equal in terms of the width and height? That's what we want to check here. Okay, as you can see, something like it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a rectangle that will fit exactly to our canvas size, and I'm going to bring that rectangle to the front. Okay, so by double clicking here, I have created a rectangle that fits our canvas. Let me give it a red color, and let me right click while I'm in it and bring it to the front. Okay, let me center it. Okay, let's see, let's see. Okay, 1284. Okay, 1284 by 2278. Okay, so as you can see, it looks like it's not exactly the same our line, but let's just quickly test that. Let me bring this to the front. Okay, let me bring this to the front, order to the front. Okay, and then let me center this, and also let me center this so that we can be sure. Okay, let me remove this. Maybe I've made a mistake there. Let me zoom in. Okay, let me just zoom in. Let me click the image on top. As you can see, the image on top fit exactly on the corner of the red shape. Okay, as you can see, when I'm clicking on fix, it fits exactly. Zoom in, zoom in. Okay, as you can see here, it is. Okay, it fits exactly. So those guidelines, obviously, I didn't put them exactly where they are supposed to be. So we are happy with this. We know that our splash screen is going to be 100%. We are happy with that. So that means we are conforming to the standards of Expo, so that we cannot have some as assets that are not going to work on production. So I can remove this background, and also I can remove what? I can remove this. Okay, so now I know this is what we are working on. Okay, let's continue. What I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this, Control D. I'm going to crop the screen. Okay, I'm going to crop this screen. Okay, as you can see, our background is designed in such a way that it makes use of this color, okay, and also some shades of it. Okay, so that means our splash screen also can follow some sort of a similar pattern. Okay, but we're just going to modify it and make it a little bit different. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so what we are going to do, let's double click again. Okay, let's see if Corel Draw can help us on giving us the shades of these colors. Okay, of these colors. I think this is purple, right? Let me just check. Okay, I'm not online. That's not the problem. I think this color is purple. Okay, so let's continue. So what we are going to do, we want these colors, shades of that color, the background color. So let's quickly first test. Let me just convert this to an image. Okay, just a normal image. And then let's drag and drop it here to see if, okay, this function doesn't work. I don't know why, but that's not much of a problem. We can do that manually. Okay, so we are going to create a color palette here. Okay, let's look for the strongest. Okay, duplicate this. Let's look for some sort of somewhat lighter. Duplicate this. Okay, let's look for somewhat different one. Okay, and then let's look for a lighter one. Can this be our lighter? Okay. Okay, now we have something like a color palette. Okay, this one and this one, they don't look like different. Okay, there's no much difference. Okay, so let me just say click here. Okay, looks like it's the same, so I can delete this one. Okay, and then I can remove this. Okay, so we've got our color palette. Okay, now what we want to do, okay, zoom out this so that it can fit here. I'm happy with this. Okay, we've got our background here. So now what we want to do, we are going to choose this color as some sort of a primary background color. Okay, let's expand this background so that it can overlap. Okay, and then let's just put some guidelines here, even though they might not be 100% because I'm not zoomed in, so they might not be exactly, but they are just going to give us a clue as to where we are. Okay, and then we are going to copy this color. Okay, and then from here we are going to create our own version of the splash screen. Okay, so meaning that what we can do, we can do something like this, draw a shape there. Okay, and then from there I'm going to convert this to curve. Okay, and then okay, after converting it to curve, I'm just gonna play around, click here, make this a curve also. Then this is what I'm going to do. Okay, we're just creating our own version. Okay, we're just creating our own version. We just want it to be different from this one. Okay, but we are almost like imitating that. Okay, we are imitating that. Okay, I think this is cool. Also, let me just change the orientation a little bit. Okay, as you can see, this one starts from here. Ours must be a little bit different. Okay, and what else? As you can see, there is a second one there. What we can do, also, we need to change this. Make another corner here. That's it. Okay, and then what we need to do, we need to copy this. Okay, um, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Okay, let me give it a color. Let me give it a color. Let's give it this color. Okay, remove this. As you can see, it's starting to look better. And then let's duplicate the one that has got the color already. And then from then we are going to flip it. Okay, and then flip it again. Okay, make it something like this. Okay, and then what we are going to do, we're just gonna play around this so that it cannot be like more like exactly like this one. Okay, so that it can be a little bit different. Okay. Okay, remember this is where our screen is ending. This is the edge. So if it can be inside a little bit. Okay. Guys, I'm happy with this. Obviously, as you can see, it's more like it's a solid color. Okay. So what we need to do now, we need to make some those shades. Okay, different shades of this color. Okay. Obviously, if you are following along, you can make your own shades of this color. You don't have to follow whatever that I did. Okay, just gonna follow this pattern. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this tool, interactive fill. Okay, instead I'm going to sample this color. Okay, the lighter color, this one. Okay, as you can see, starting from this, it's becoming lighter and lighter. Okay, let's go this like this. Okay, as you can see now, it has got some sort of a gradient. Okay, okay. Okay, I want to hold this. As you can see, it has got some sort of a gradient. Let's do the same thing with this one. Okay, do the same thing with this one and not that. Okay, we want to click this one. Okay, and then we're going to sample the original color, the primary color. Okay, so that this can feel like it's fading. Okay, can feel like it's some sort of it's fading. Okay, I hope you get what I'm trying to do. Okay, we are making it more subtle. Okay, we are some sort of hiding it a little bit so that it cannot be like in your face. Okay, let's do the same thing for this one. We are almost done. Okay, take this, sample the primary color. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to fade. Okay, okay, this will be our splash screen. As you can see, nothing much, nothing complicated. Okay, let's just one thing. Let's just end this. Obviously, these are the, what can I say? The things that come with designing, and this is what annoys other people. Okay, designers always want to make some unnecessary changes and adjustment. So my apologies for that. That is who we are. Okay, we always look at things and feel like, nah, I wish it can. Okay, and some people they always feel like, ah, that's unnecessary. Okay, some people always feel like that's unnecessary and it's a waste of time. Okay, but us, we always feel like that's not a waste of time. Okay, let's see. Okay, guys, I'm happy with this. Let's just zoom this one in to see if is there any other thing that we might have missed or we wish we can some sort of edit. Okay, okay, their own lines are a bit visible than ours. Okay, just one thing. Their own lines, they are like a little bit visible, as you can see. Put some visibility there. Put some visibility there. Okay. Okay. For me, that's about it, guys. Okay. Okay, now let's duplicate this screen so that we can see how is our splash screen going to look like. Duplicate. Okay, now I'm going to highlight everything here. Control G. Then I'm going to double click so that we can have a shape that is right at the back. Okay, right, like the same size of the canvas. And then I'm going to power clip everything. Okay, like power clip. Put everything inside this shape. Okay, and then remove this. Okay. So this will be our splash screen. Okay, as you can see, nothing much. Okay, so this is the end of this video. So in the next video, we are going to recreate this logo. Okay, we are done with this splash screen, like some sort of the background of the splash screen. Then in the next video, we are going to recreate this logo. And then from there, we create this asset and that one, and then we will be done. And then we can jump into coding. That's about it for me, Matthew Msengati, the hybrid, the designer and developer. If you feel like this video is adding value into your own overall understanding of graphic design, please do me a favor and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one. Hey, what's up and welcome. It's Matthew here, the designer and developer. We are making a series where we start from graphic design, which is a graphic design program in Corel Draw, up to a mobile app development, which is React Native and Expo. Okay, so we did a splash screen, or the background of the splash screen. Okay, obviously the splash screen has a logo. Okay, so instead of reinventing the wheel, coming up with our own things, what we are going to do, we are going to retrace this logo. Okay, we are going to retrace this logo as it is. Okay, which is that's the only thing that we need now so that we can put here. So in this video, let's quickly retrace this logo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to crop this. Okay, I'm going to crop this. And remember, this is not our artwork. This is something I took from the internet. Okay, this is not our screen. We didn't create this. Okay, I just took it from free pick, and that's it. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to recreate this logo. Okay, some sort of retrace it, let me say. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Okay, this is fine. So what we are going to do first, we need to lock it so that it cannot move. Okay, and then from there, we're going to take this tool, the shape tool. Okay, take the shape tool, and then we're going to click here. Okay, I'm happy with this. And then from there, what we are going to do, we are going to create this. Okay, let's see how are we going to create it. Okay, let's create this square. Perfect square here. Okay, now it's not a perfect square. It's more like a rectangle now. Okay. And then from there, what we are going to do, we are going to click here. We want one corner here. Not all of them. As you can see, we have deselected others. Okay. We also want this corner here. And from here, what we want, let's see if we can move this corner. Okay, now it becomes more like a circle. That's not what we want. Okay. Let me just duplicate this and put it aside for now. Let's convert this to a shape. Okay, convert it to a curve. Then right here in the center, let's put a node there. And then let's flatten this. Okay, as you can see, this one also is affected. So let's put a node here so that we can lock it. Okay, so that it cannot be affected, as you can see. Then let's do the same thing, put a node here so that we can lock it. Okay, when you're double clicking here, we are deleting this node. Okay, and then what we are going to do, we are just going to click here, make this a curve because now it's a straight line. Make this a curve, and then make it a little bit like this. Okay, and then from then here we will make a node and we are going to delete these nodes. Okay, as you can see, we are having a smooth curve there. Let's make the color of that border red so that we can see it clearly. Okay. Okay. And then from there, let's just make some small minor adjustments. Okay, some small adjustments. Okay, let's see. Some minor adjustments. Okay. Okay, what we can do is adjust this a little bit. Move this to here. Okay. Move this, move this down a little bit. Okay. Adjust this a little bit. Okay. And remember, we are not going to make this to be like super perfect. As you can see, this looks like it. Okay, this is what we are going to do. Let's give it a color. Okay, and then what we want to do, we want to take another shape. Okay, another shape like this. As you can see, this is the middle. Okay, this is the middle. And then what we are going to do, we are going to take this shape, which is behind. Let me just remove the border from this one. The shape that is behind, click together, shift and click the other shape, and then we're going to say back minus front. As you can see now, we have subtracted this from this, and then we are going to copy and paste this. As you can see, it's copy and paste. Okay, and then let's give it a different color. Then we are going to flip it. Okay, And then from then, after flipping it, we are going to move it to here like this. Okay. Okay, as you can see, we said this is the middle. So as you can see, these are aligning on the middle. Okay, and then from there, let's just click this one and shift click this one and we weld them. Okay, they become one shape. Then when we double click, we've got some nodes there which we can just remove by clicking here and removing those nodes. Okay, as you can see now, it's smoother. Let's check what's going on here in the bottom. Okay, also I don't have much problem with the bottom. Okay, remember we are not designing a logo, so what I will do, I will just scratch this like this and then delete these ones. Okay, I'm hoping they are not going to affect the overall look and feel. Obviously everything works fine. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lock this here, lock this here. We can just delete this node. Okay, double click, delete this one and delete this one. Okay, as you can see, somewhat like it. Okay, that means we are done with the first eye. And what we are going to do, we're just going to create a border there, remove this. We've got the eye there. Okay, and then we're just going to create the small circles there. I'm happy with that. Okay, then let's change the width, stroke. Okay, I'm happy with that. Happy with that, and change this to red. Happy with that. Okay, and then let's just give these the proper color. Proper color. Okay, and then we can convert this into an outline. Okay, not a line. Okay, let's just Control Shift Q, Control Shift Q. Okay, and then let's make this like one object by welding it. Okay, so this means now this is just one object. Okay, then we can duplicate it or Control CV instead. Copy and paste, Control C, Control V. Then we can press Shift while we are moving it. Okay, and then we want to create this. Okay, also this is not much of a problem. Okay, this is not much of a problem. Okay, let's make this bigger. Happy with that. As you can see now, it's a line. Control Shift Q. We have changed this from being a line to be an outline. Okay. Click here. Delete this. Delete this. Okay. I'm happy with this. Remember, it doesn't have to be super perfect. Okay. We are just tracing it to look more like close to this. Okay. Okay. More like it. Then let's highlight everything and change the color to red and see how it looks. As you can see, very, very close. Okay, very, very close. Let's see. Okay, now let's weld everything and then give it a proper color. And then let's change this to yellow to see what's going on. Yes, this is what we want. Make it white. Okay, let's just move down our mouth a little bit. I'm happy with this. Duplicate it. Put it in our splash screen. Okay. Let's just adjust our head a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with this. Okay, that is it. We've got a smiling head right there. Okay, that means we have to lift it up a little bit. And then that's the splash screen. Okay. So, obviously, let's just put app there. Okay. Let's just put app there. Make sure everything is centered. Guys, we have just finished the splash screen. Okay. So what we need to do now, we just need to save the splash screen. Okay. As you can see, the size is still exactly the way it was. Okay. Nothing has changed. So let's save this as a PNG. Okay. Control E for exporting. Here on downloads, let's just open a folder. Let's say app assets. Okay. And then we're going to change this into PNG. And then we're going to use Expo's naming convention, which we are going to name this splash. Okay, only the selected one. I'm happy with this. Okay, let's see how it looks like, the selected one. And that's it. Guys, this is our splash screen. I'm happy with this. Clean, nice and neat. Okay, and that's it. Another thing, as you can see, we've got the logo here. Okay, we've got the logo here. To make our work a bit simpler, I think we are going to export the logo with this name. Okay, there's no way we can want to change the color of this app and whatever. It will remain as it is. Okay, so or let's just export the logo alone. We will type this in a code just for good programming practices. Let's export the logo alone. The logo, we are going to export it as a PNG also. Okay, let's say logo. Okay, only the selected one, and that is it. Okay, what else can we do? What else can we do? I think that's all. We are happy with this. Guys, we are done with the splash screen. In the next video, we are going to create these assets. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Hey, what's up and welcome. It's Matthew here, the hybrid, the designer and developer. This is Corel Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. This is a series of videos where I start from graphic design to a fully fledged mobile app using Expo React Native. In the previous video, we created or we've retraced this small logo and we were done with our splash screen. So since we took this picture from the internet, as you can see, it's a JPEG, which is we can't separate the text from the background. In our case, we only want the background. And what's the best way to get it? Is to retrace it. That's why we are in a graphic design program. In my case, it's CorelDRAW. You can use any graphic design program of your choice. Without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. So we are going to duplicate the screen, copy layers and its content. What we are going to do, we are going to crop this here, knowing very well we've got a copy of that image. Okay, we don't need this because we've got it on page 2. Here is everything, so that means we can also delete this. Okay, and then what we want to do, okay, let's do this. um let's make sure that we crop this so that we can get the proportion. Okay, so let's crop it like exactly in the edge, something like this, very, very close to the edge. Okay, something like this. Okay, and then from there, what we are going to do, we are just going to center it and scale it up proportionally by pressing shift as we scale it up. Okay, and that's about it. Remember, we are not tracing the text and the buttons, things that are in the foreground. We are tracing the background so that we can use it. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to create this part here. Okay, let's get into it. We are going to take a shape, something like this. Let's make it red so that it can be visible. What we are going to do, this is a shape, so we cannot do some modifications with it. We need to convert it into a curve. Okay, so let's click on it, convert it into a curve. After that, we can click this, and then we can manipulate this as we wish. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. Okay, and then what else that we're going to do, we're just going to click here to convert this straight line to a curve. Okay, as you can see, meaning that now we can manipulate it as we wish. Okay, so the other thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to move this closer. Okay, to highlight everything. Then I'm going to move this closer here. Okay, and then from there I'm going to lift this up. And remember, we are not like copying this as it is, like as in 100%. Okay, but we are making something like it. Okay, what is important in this series, it's all the explanation and also the concept behind whatever that I'm doing, so that you can be able to on your own create your own mobile application. So that's the idea. So we don't want things to be like 100% accurate. Okay, as long as they are, okay, as long as they are 99% like it. Okay, okay, zoom in. Okay, I'm happy with this line. I'm happy with this line. And then let me just delete this one and see. I'm happy with this. Let me just move it like this. Okay, so that it can follow this pattern. Okay, I'm happy with this. Okay, and then we've got our color palette here. Okay, what else that we need to do? Let's just look closely. Okay, we've got another line here. Okay, that moves like this. Let's quickly do that. We're going to do the same thing. Convert this, Control Q, convert it to curves. Then we're going to change this. As you can see, what I'm doing here, whatever that I'm doing, I make sure that it overlaps. Okay, this is a graphic design technique. Okay, as you can see, everything overlaps. In case maybe I might feel like I want to move this a little bit, you can see I've got a room to do so. Okay, instead of designing it to fit on the edge exactly where I don't have that. If I do that, I won't have some sort of a room to move things around. That's why my shapes are some sort of overlapping. Okay, in fact they are some sort of outside the boundary of the canvas. Okay, so let's do the same thing, make this red so that we can see it. Let's make sure if it's red. Yes. Okay, and then let's create a dot here to make it a curve, and then let's just make another one here and then move that one like this. Okay, and then okay, let's create another one here. Zoom in. Okay, as you can see, so let's create another one here, move it like this.
Okay. What is also increase my brightness? Okay. Now I can see my lines properly. Okay. Now, what I want to do, let me adjust my line nicely. Okay. As you can see, this is something like it. Okay. This is more or less like it. Okay. So I'm done with this also. What else? I think I'm done. Okay. So what we want to do now, let's move this. Okay, let's move this aside. And then let's create a background. Okay. Double click so that we can have that image there. Then from there, let's use our color palette. Increase the background, okay, a bit so that it can overlap. Um, let's use our color palette. Okay, remove the borders, and that's it. And then what we want to do, we want to use secondary color, okay, which is this one. Remove the background, the borders, the red borders. Okay, same here. Remove the borders. As you can see, the guidelines, the rulers are telling us where some sort of the edge of the screen exactly. Okay, and then what we need to do, we need to some sort of apply this gradient. Okay, come here, interactive fill, apply the gradient. So we just clone or copy our tertiary color, and that's it. We are trying to imitate this. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then let's go to our secondary color. Also create a gradient and then take our tertiary color, sample it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It looks like here we've got three colors. Okay. We've got this one, the the secondary color, and somewhere here we've got the primary color, and then we've got the tertiary color. Let's just zoom in. As you can see, this is the same. As you can see, this is the same almost. Okay. Like somewhere here in the middle, there is a primary color and then there's a tertiary color. So we need some sort of three color transition. Okay, here let's put the primary color somewhere here. Put the primary color. Sorry for that. Let's put a primary color somewhere here. We will mix it accordingly until it looks like what we want. Okay. 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 And then what we want this to look exactly like this one. Okay. So let's check here. Okay, let's check here. Put a dot there, a color there, and then move it a little bit. Okay. And then what we are going to do, we need to sample from here, we need to sample this color, the one that is very close here. Okay. As you can see now, this one and this one, this one and this one are looking alike. Okay. Let's sample again. Okay, something like that. Okay, as you can see, guys, we're not going to make some sort of the exact copy. Okay, but we're making something like it. So the only thing that we need to do now, let's just work on our secondary color here. Sorry, the primary color that is in the middle. Okay, we are going to make it light a little bit. So let's just make our own adjustment here first and see. As you can see, it's becoming lighter. It's not as strong as it is, okay, or as it was. Okay, guys, that's about it. Let's see. Still, it's a bit strong and visible, okay? Let's change it a little bit. Uh, let me do this sample from here. Let's see. I'm happy with this. Okay, it's not too much, not too loud. What else? Let's just check here and also create some sort of a gradient and then take our primary color. Okay. Then we need to scratch that a little bit so that the curves can be shown. Something like that. Okay. Let's look at it. Again, let's use the zoom tool. Okay. This white here, I don't see it in this design, this whitish thing. Okay. So what we are going to do, okay, what we are going to do, we can duplicate this as it is, duplicate it, and sample our tertiary color, make this a bit bigger, and then move it under this one, and then move it in a little bit, change it like this, move it in a little bit, okay, something like this, make it bigger, okay, make it bigger. You will see in a minute what I'm trying to do, okay, make it bigger, okay, and then what we are going to do, we are going to use transparency, okay, okay, use it the opposite way, we're going to use transparency here like this, okay. As you can see, with transparency, we can win, but I'm not sure if we can win fully. Okay, before we apply the transparency, let's convert this as it is to an image. Okay, convert this to an image. There's no need for the image to be transparent. Okay, convert this to an image. Now this is an image. Sorry, I've converted the wrong thing. It's okay. It's still the right thing, but since it was not transparent, so sorry about that. It has to be transparent, okay? So that it cannot have a white part, okay? Now it's an image. So the reason why I'm converting into an image, I want to use the blur effect, okay? The blur effect, okay? Let's see. Let's see. Am I clicking the this? We have lost, so better be safe than sorry. Okay, let me just say tutorial. Okay, for now. Okay, and then we were applying the blur effect. The blur effect. Okay. Okay, maybe the computer is slow on processing this. So what we are going to do, okay, it's generating a preview now. Okay, a little bit. Okay, let's just quickly wait for the preview. As you can see, this is starting to be blur, but I want it to be more. Okay. Oh, it's getting there a little bit. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think this is fine. Okay, I think this is fine. Remember, now this is an image. And then let's make use of the transparency. Okay, starting from here. Okay, this is what we want. As you can see, guys, this is getting there. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is looking more like this one. Okay. Something like it. Okay, I'm happy with this. And then let's see if I can move this like this so that it can be a little bit white. Okay. I'm afraid that it looks like the graphics of my computer are getting a tough time, but I'm happy with this. At least I can see now this. Okay. Okay, guys, without making things complicated, let's just sorry about that. Okay, as you can see, the computer, it looks like it's struggling to process this. Okay, so we are done with this background. Okay, we are done with this background. Let me make this smaller. Okay, this image is too big and it has got a lot of effects. So let me just kill those effects by converting it to an image again. Okay, so that it cannot be heavy, and then I will crop it to a smaller size. As you can see now, this is how big it is when it has got effect. So I'm just going to crop it so that it can be small. Okay. Okay, it doesn't have to be that big as long as it's outside the boundary of the screen. As you can see, now it's smaller. Okay, now that it's an image, we can also add another transparency. Okay, something like this, as you can see. Okay, transparency as we wish. Okay, okay, let me do this. Okay, let me do this. Okay, guys, I'm happy with this. Okay, let me group everything. Okay, and then let me double click to have a rectangle that will be exactly as the canvas, and then bring it up front. And then from then I will take everything from here and I will power clip it here. Okay. Okay. Now we have our background. Okay, that looks something like this. Okay, and then what I want to do, let me just add one layer on top. Okay, just as a test. Okay, because we are going to have a text or some design element like this logo and the text that you are going to read. As you can see, let me zoom in. As you can see, this is what we are going to have. So at the moment, I feel like these lines are competing with the foreground. The background is competing with the foreground. So I need to deal with that a little bit. Okay. Let's choose our primary color. Okay, as you can see. And then from there, I'm going to apply transparency. Let me zoom in. Okay, let me apply transparency. Oh, I need to zoom out a little bit. Okay, as you can see. Okay, okay, let me hide a little bit. Okay, for me, this is fine. Okay, for me, this is fine. Let me get. Okay, so I don't want these to be some sort of visible. Okay, let's just make a sample, a test sample. Okay, just make a test sample. Okay, as you can see. Okay, as you can see now, these are not like visible, too much visible. They are just there in the background. Okay, They are just there in the background. Show them a little bit. Okay, but I don't want these to compete with the foreground. Okay, I don't want these to compete with the foreground. So for me, I'm happy with this. Let me try to show them a little bit. Let's see. Okay, not there at all. Somewhere there. Okay, I'm happy with this. Okay, guys, we are done with the background. This background, we are done with it. This one. So in the next video, we are going to create this asset. This one. Okay. Okay, this is where we are now. I am Matthew Msingati, the hybrid, the designer, and a developer. Thank you so much for clicking this video. See you on the next one. Hey, what's up and welcome. It's Matthew here, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel, Corel Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. This is a series of from graphic design to a fully fledged application. I am here on Corel Draw. After I'm done with the asset, we are going to go to React Native Expo and code this. Okay, so we are busy with creating the assets for the application. We are done with the splash screen and also this part. Okay, so now what we want to do, we want to design this brand pattern. Okay, this is a pattern. Usually in brand design and identity design, these patterns are something that are used as an asset of the identity. Okay, maybe they might be here on the mobile app, they will be here on brochures, they will be here on the website. So let's design this pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this page, and then I'm going to some sort of crop this. Okay, because we only want this part, and then we might as well delete this. Okay, sorry, we might as well delete this. Okay, so let's scale this up a little bit. So what we are going to do here, we are just going to take a square. Okay, what's the best way to do this? Let's try to be clever. Okay, so that we can work smart. Okay, as you can see, this is just some element in a straight line. So guys, I will be back. There is a knock. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that disturbance. So what we did, we've just rotated this picture so that we can make our lives easier. Let me just quickly show you how are we going to do that. I'm just noticing a pattern here. We've got some small blocks, okay, at this distance on each other, and we've got the big blocks, okay. As you can see, this block is not small as this one. We don't know how far the pattern continues. That will mean we have to create our own pattern. We will then, when we are done with the pattern, we will rotate it so that it can look like this one. So without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, this is how we are going to achieve this. Okay, obviously, as you can see, our picture is not accurate. That is not much of a problem. Okay, that is not much of a problem. Zoom in. Okay, that is not much of a problem. And then duplicate this. Okay, move it here, align it. Okay, so now these are aligning. So what we are going to do, we are going to create another shape. Okay, let me work on the size of the stroke. Okay, I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. I'm somewhat happy. Okay, I'm happy with this. Let me just make it 28. Okay, I'm happy with this. And then what we are going to do, we are going to duplicate this. Okay, so what we are going to do, this long shape or long rectangle is just going to cover like two of the small one. This is what I mean. Okay, let's highlight this one and highlight this one. They make a total width of this. So this one, the width of it is going to be exactly those. Okay, and then let's group these. The top one, Control G, not duplicate, Control G, and then let's centralize everything. As you can see, now they are centralized. Okay, take this back to here. Okay, I'm happy with this. Okay, I'm happy with this. As you can see, the bottom shape looks a little bit longer. Okay, it's not like the same size as this one. Now, the only thing that we need to do, we need to click this one and look at the radius. Okay, as you can see, this is the original radius. Because we have manipulated this shape, the radius is not like the original one. As you can see, this is 176. We don't want that. We want the original one, 116. Okay, and then everything is consistent. And then what we are going to do, we are going to duplicate this, just make a copy. The reason why, we are going to convert these lines into outlines. This means that we are not going to have some sort of much freedom of editing these. Once we've converted them to outline, we can't edit back. So when we want to edit back, we can always refer to this. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is a line, something that you can edit the thickness, but now we are going to convert it into an outline. This is what I mean. Okay, and the property of a line, when you are resizing it, it changes. Okay, I hope I didn't set that default. As you can see, it changes, of which we don't want this. Okay, one option to solve this problem, the best way, is to come here and tell it to scale with these lines, to scale with the width and height here. Okay, then if you do that, as you can see, they won't change. Okay, they won't change, they remain the same. But what I like to do, I like to convert these to outlines. Okay, to make my life easier. Okay, so Control Shift Q, undo and group everything, and then Control Shift Q. Everything now it's an outline. When I'm saying it's an outline, this is what I mean. Okay, this now can have a border on its own, as if it was something like this. Okay, so I am cool with this. Okay, let me remove any border. Okay, as you can see, guys, now let's take the width, the gap between these. Okay, this is the gap between these. Let me make a square rather. Okay, let me make a square. So meaning that this is the gap, okay, between these. Let's make sure that this is consistent, this and this one. As you can see, not as consistent. Okay, even though we are not going to be accurate, but at least let's try to be, okay, as accurate. Okay, I'm happy with this. So guys, what we are going to do now, we are going to make this pattern. Okay, let's zoom out because we are going to duplicate things. Let's start from here. Now in my Corel Draw course, there is a trick, or there is some sort of a technique that I show, I teach for repeating things. Okay, so we are going to use that technique. Okay, now let's make sure that we've got the correct color. So this looks like a tertiary in our color system. Let's just quickly confirm that. Okay, this looks like the tertiary. Yeah, as you can see, this is the tertiary part. Okay, let's quickly change this to the tertiary color, as you can see. Okay, so now we want to repeat things. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, guys, I had to pause the video. I think somebody was making noise on the other side. Let's continue. Okay, now we want to repeat things. So what we are going to do, let's go to view, edit, step repeat. Okay, let's select it again. Okay, step repeat. We are going to repeat this pattern. Okay, and we are going to repeat it horizontally. Okay, so vertically, there is nothing that we are going to do. Okay, so what is the gap between each object? We are going to take this gap. Okay, this is the distance. I'm happy with that. And what else? How many are we going to make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just say 7 for now. Okay, we can even leave this 6. Let's just make it 7. Okay, let's see. Let's select the object that we want to duplicate, we want to repeat. Okay, happy with this. Are we repeating vertically? We are repeating nothing vertically. Horizontally, we are repeating. Let's see. This is not what we want. What might be the problem? What might be the problem? What might be the problem? Okay, let me see. Undo. Oh, okay, now I see. If this moves like this distance, so it moves like this. This is not what we want. The distance might be, let me calculate the distance. The distance might be this distance plus this one. Okay, let's try that. This is 300. Okay, let's just duplicate this for now. And then take this one and just add 300 from here. Okay, okay, so this is the new distance now. Okay, let's try that. This is the new distance. Let's see what is it going to give us. Okay, 7 times. As you can see, we are getting there. Obviously, this is not what we wanted to duplicate. We want to select this item, not that one. Let's see. As you can see, guys, what we wanted, it's happening exactly. Obviously, what we also want to do, we want to step repeat these, what can I say, vertically now. Okay, now that we did this, we want to step repeat this vertically. So we are going to do the same thing. Not really, because the width and height is not the same. Okay, so meaning that for the height, we are going to take the height of this as it is. Now the height plus 300. Okay, we take this as the distance for repeating, but we are going to repeat vertically. Okay, this side we don't really need 7. Let's just make 1, 2, 3. Let's just make 4 of these. Okay, sorry, I've highlighted the wrong thing. Let's just make 4 of these. Okay, that means I forgot to remove this distance. Okay, this one. Okay, on the horizontal axis. That is it, guys. And then let's group this quickly. Let's see. This is our pattern. Okay, I don't mind about this. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are just going to rotate this pattern. Okay, as you can see, this is a normal pattern. Now I'm just going to rotate this pattern. Let's just quickly rotate it like 45 degrees and see how it's gonna look like. As you can see. Okay, now let's take the original one. Let's see if this is something like it. Okay, this is the original one. The original one. Okay, when it comes to the original one, the rotation is not exactly like 45. Okay, it's not 45. I thought it was 45. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. My mistake. Remember, okay, remember this has been rotated already. Okay, because we wanted to make it to be on a straight line. So let's like reset this to the default 0. Okay, how it was before, and then we can compare with our 45-degree angle to see if it looks like that. Let's align it. As you can see, guys, okay, it looks like it. Okay, it looks like it. Okay, now we've got the pattern. Okay, sorry, now we've got the pattern. Let's delete this. Okay, and we can also delete this. Okay, we can also delete everything here. Okay, let's just put this in the center of the page by pressing Ctrl P and then zoom in. Okay, click it. Okay, as you can see, this is some sort of too big. Okay, as you can see, this is too big. Okay, but that's not much of a problem. So what we are going to do, let's create our shape. Where am I going to get my shape? It looks like I wish I could not have deleted the first thing. Let's just duplicate this and take the screen. Okay, copy this and paste it where and paste it here. Okay, let's just scale it. Okay, I'm happy with this. So as you can see, it looks like we are having a background that looks like a circle. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, it looks like we are having a background that looks like a circle, something like this. Okay, obviously it's not the actual circle, but it looks like this. Okay, obviously what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to sacrifice this part a little bit for the sake of our design. Okay, let me try to imitate that. Okay, for the sake of our design. Okay, I'm happy with this. Let's make this a primary color. Okay, and obviously it has got some sort of a gradient there. Let's make that gradient interactive fill gradient, and let's choose our tertiary color. Okay, it has got some sort of a gradient. Okay, that's not a problem. Something like it. Okay, so now what we want to put this pattern on top. Want to put this pattern on top, as you can see. Okay, let's duplicate this so that we can see if as it matches. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, as you can see, these patterns are too big. Okay, I want these to be a little bit smaller so that they can be noticeable. Okay, so now I'm going to make this smaller. Okay, so that we can have more in a screen. Okay, so that we can have at least more in the screen. Let's just adjust them again. Okay, I'm happy with this. Okay, this looks like it. I'm happy with this, but let me make it bigger. Okay, so that they can feel this circle. Okay, so guys, what we are going to do now, let's duplicate this. Okay, duplicate this, and then I want to copy the circle behind this. Okay, I think when you want to highlight something behind the shape that is behind in Corel Draw, you press Alt, okay, and then you click. Then that means you have clicked the layer that is behind. And then I'm going to Control C, Control V. So what I'm going to do, I don't need the fill color. I can move it so that shape it's there, but it doesn't have the fill color. Let me just show you. And you see, it's the red one. So I want to take the pattern and power clip it. Okay, power clip it on a red one. As you can see, now it fits on this red circle. Okay, and then let me remove the red circle. So now this feels like an eclipse, only an eclipse. Okay, as you can see. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight everything here, highlight everything, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to crop everything. Okay, so that this can look like this. Okay, okay, so the technique that we are going to use, guys, is that we are not sure of the the width of the device. We are not sure about that. Okay, it's like the width can be like this. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about this. Okay, zoom out once. Okay, my apologies about that. Okay, this is what I want. Let me make this red, the border, and remove this. Okay, we can have the width of the device like this, but we can have a width like this. Okay, we can have a width like this. Do you see why we have made this a little bigger? Okay, we have made this a little bigger so that if we get the width of a sort of a bigger device, then our graphics is not affected. So it will look closely on a device that is like this. Okay, this size of a device. So we are done with the top part, okay, which is this pattern. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't like look exactly like this one, okay, but I'm happy with this. Okay, and then now we are done with this graphic. So in this same video, we might as well not necessarily do this one. Okay, it's not like we are going to do this one also, but as you can see, if you remove these small patterns on top of this one, it looks like it's the same as this one. So we might as well, while we are here, okay, on this page, we can duplicate this and remove the pattern. Okay, okay, ungroup. Okay, as you can see, we've got that one. Okay, guys, it looks like we are done here. Okay, that means now we've got this part. And then one last thing, let's just make sure that the transparency of the pattern is the same as this one so that these lines cannot be too much visible such that it can compete with the text on top. Okay, so the pattern, let's just work on the transparency. Okay. Okay, as you can see, nothing is happening there simply because these patterns are inside a power clip. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to convert this shape. Okay, let me just duplicate it because this is non-reversible, or it's like it's a permanent thing. Let me convert this to a PNG. Okay, I've converted it into a PNG. Then I can apply my transparency nicely, as you can see. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with this, but it looks like it might compete with the background just like here. Okay, let's give it another transparency again. Okay, for me, I'm happy with this. Okay, guys, that's about it. We've got our pattern here, even though ours it's a little bit subtle than this one. But we are done with the graphic design part. I'm so excited to jump into React Native and do the coding. Thank you so much for watching up to this far. This is a series. If you like content like this one, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Matthew Singer, the hybrid, the designer and a developer. See you on the next one. Hey, what's up and welcome. I am Matthew, the hybrid, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel. Some time ago, I was browsing the internet and I saw this beautiful UI, which is on Free Pick. So I created a series on this UI. It's like I am creating the actual app from this UI. The good news is I am done coding it. So I'm going to show you the live coded thing from Expo router and React Native. Okay, let's just quickly jump to my YouTube channel. As you can see, this is a series. Okay, up to this far in this series,
I am designing the assets. Okay, as you can see here, I am designing this pattern. Okay, as you can see, this nice slick pattern here, I am designing it in Corel Draw. I'm a graphic designer and I am a front end engineer. So I'm designing it exactly as it is. Okay, so I have been like coding it. Okay, so that when I'm done coding it, I can do a tutorial on it. Okay, where I'll show you how I did it. If you haven't checked my channel or you haven't checked this series, you can check it. Okay, this is the graphic design aspect of it. So now let's count down. Three, two, one. Let's reveal. Okay. I decided to call this a fintech app. Okay, since to me this looked like it can be a bank app or whatever. It has got numbers, so I've decided to call it a fintech app. Okay, so let's just jump into Visual Studio Code and the simulator. Okay, this is the whole code and this is the simulator. So in order for us to run it, also what I did, guys, I also added an onboarding screens. Okay, so I'm also developing an application which is going to be a radio app. It's just like a basic app where you just go and listen to radios. Okay, for now I'm going to start with South African radios, but I don't think there's something limiting me from using featuring other radio stations. But for now, since I'm from South Africa, I would like to start with the South African radio station so that I might not be restricted by the laws, let's say the rules and laws of India when it comes to streaming somebody else's radio and so forth. So also as a bonus, there is the onboarding screen. Okay, without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, it's gonna load, and this is it, guys. This is it. We are becoming better developers. Okay, you are going to see this is the onboarding screen. Okay, onboarding is just 2 or 3 screens which are telling you more about the app. Okay, so here, as you can see, these screens are more like talking to a radio kind of a thing. Okay, but the interesting thing here, we've got these dots which are showing you which screen you are at. Okay, so that means this will happen when it's your first time to launch the application. So when you click next, it shows another screen. Okay, and then when you click on the third screen, as you can see now, this is the third screen. These are my contact details, and then you can click get started. Okay, so this is just an onboarding screen. Okay, it gives you more information about the app and the features and everything. As you can see, what I decided to do is to put my contact details because this app is going to be free. So I'm hoping maybe somebody might contact me and some sort of give me a job or tell me about the project. That's the idea. Okay, so now let's just jump straight into this one. Okay, this is my first screen. I don't know how can I put these side by side, but I don't think there is a need. Okay, you see the screen here, the welcome screen. Here is my welcome screen. Are you ready? Yeah, luckily things happen like magically. These things are side by side. I didn't do that intentionally, but I thank God that it happened. Let's see. Boom. This is it, guys. Okay, this is my screen and this is the screen that on free pick. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got one login button. Okay, this one, since like the buttons are the same. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do one login button. Obviously, I'm hoping that you can create this one for you. Okay, as you can see, this is the input. Okay, when I'm clicking there, let's see what will happen. Then I can type here Matthew. Okay, as you can see, this is live. Okay, this is live, and also this one works. Okay, you can see. Okay, so I have designed that background screen using Corel Draw. Okay, so what I decided to do when I was creating that background layout, okay, in the graphic design application, I decided to mute the background a little bit. As you can see here, the background is almost like visible. Okay, it's sharp and it's visible. You can see it. But with me, you can't really see it in details, these lines. Okay, so I decided to mute it so that it cannot some sort of conflict or fight for attention or compete with the foreground, which is the text. Okay, that's my first screen, guys. Please rate my screen, rate the execution, guys, because I just took this from the internet. This is not my design. Okay, I just took it on the internet and I was like, let me recreate it. Okay, as you can see, I've just wrote here Fintech app. Okay, now what else? Okay, so when I'm done here, we are going to get into these screens. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? Boom. Okay, this is where we are, guys. This is my home. Okay, as you can see, this is my home. I just wrote here financial graphs. Okay, this is my execution of this screen. Okay, as you can see, it's not this one, it's this one. Okay, like I'm trying to say, this part here. Okay, so what I did in this UI, I didn't do everything. I only did only this screen. Okay, but I just copied and pasted these into other screens since it's like similar cards. Okay, so this is my home. Also this part here, okay, that nice solid color, which is this one with me. Okay, I've used graphic design software, as you can see, maybe somewhere here I'm creating it. So if you might be interested in terms of graphic design, how I did those, you can watch these. Okay, so let's go back to here. Okay, as you can see, guys. Okay, um this is the card. Okay, so let's click on these tabs. Okay, let's click on this one. Okay, as you can see here, it's balances. Okay, and then here, this is the one. Okay, this is the one. The challenge that I'm having at the moment, maybe my images are too big. Okay, maybe my images are too big because they take time to load. Okay, so what I did, as you can see that pattern there, here I think it's a bit visible. Okay, it's a bit visible, but what I decided to do here, I have muted it a little bit, and also I didn't put a lot of items in terms of text. I only put graphs, financial graphs, and that's it. Okay, guys, this is Matthew, the designer and developer. Okay, so now I'm done coding this, so it means that I am ready, and I am 100% ready to show you guys how I did it. This is just a some sort of a snapshot into the code. As you can see, I'm using TypeScript. Okay, this is the onboarding, and this is the login screen, and this is how the code looks like. So guys, stay tuned. If you have not subscribed, please do me a favor and subscribe soon. I will be doing a tutorial on how to create this from scratch. I'm Matthew Msingati. Please shoot a comment below and tell me, is this, did I manage to pull it off? Or you can say that, nah, Matthew, you are overrating yourself, you didn't pull it off. This and this, it's not exactly the same. I will understand, guys. I'm also learning. I'm also wanting to become a better developer and a designer. Otherwise, guys, see you on the next one. I will hear from you. Hey guys, what's up and welcome. It's Matthew here, the hybrid, the designer and developer. This is a continuation of a fintech app in React Native and Expo. Let me just quickly show you a demo of what we are going to build. As you can see, this is a fintech app. This is what we are going to build. Without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. What is the tech stack? Okay, we are going to use React Native. Okay, we are going to use it with Expo. Expo is like Next.js for React.js, for pure React.js. It comes with a lot of things that makes it easier for you to create a React Native app, just like what Next.js does in pure React. Okay, so I'm here in the Expo documentation on the installation. Okay, we are going to use Expo router. Okay, I hope you understand the idea of routing. Routing is more like navigating Okay, meaning that let's say if I'm sending you to a certain area to buy a loaf of bread, obviously you need to know the directions to and from, 10 left, 10 right, and all those things. So routing in any application, it's something like that, it's like a way, a flow from one screen to another, one place to another. Then we call that routing. So in this series, we are going to use Expo router. Okay. However, Expo router it's built on top of React navigation. Okay. Okay. React navigation. Let me just check. Yes, here is it. Okay. Expo is built on top of this React navigation. Okay, so with me, I started with React navigation. Okay, and then I later saw that, oh, okay, Expo also has got an Expo router that makes use of this. Okay, so if you've learned this, the Expo router will be a bit familiar. Okay, so in the channel, we are going to also use this navigation as it is. Without wasting time, let's just quickly read here. Okay, this is the recommended way on how to use the Expo router. Okay, so let's just copy this command and go to our Visual Studio Code, and we are going to paste it. And then that's it. npx create expo at expo dash app latest dash dash template tabs at 49, and that's it, guys. Okay, so in this video, we only going to just install the app. Okay, so it's asking us what is the name of your app. Let me just move this up. Okay, what's the name of your app? Let me call it YT YouTube Fintech. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's just wait and see what it's going to ask. Okay, now what it's doing is going to install all the files. Slow, maybe because of my computer or because of my internet. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause the video, and then I will come back when everything is done. Then we can talk about the file or folder structure or what to do from there. Okay, I'll see you now. Okay, guys, I'm back. As you can see, uh, this has finished. Don't worry about the yellow things and the warning. That's nothing to write a story about. Okay. So what we are going to do now, first things first, we are supposed to cd into this directory. Why must we do that? Simply because at the moment, as you can see, we are inside the YouTube folder, of which the application is not here. So the first way is just to cd and type this YT Fintech as it is, so that in terms of the terminal, you can be inside here. But for me, this is not the best way for me to do it, because here you are on the parent folder, and here you are in the child folder. So this is not consistent. Okay, so what I would like to do, I always use Visual Studio Code to reveal this in Explorer, so that I can get inside the application, the folder that has got the application, and then I will open in Visual Studio Code. Okay, you will see the difference now. The parent folder, it's YT Fintech, which is the folder that I'm currently working on. I only see things that I want to see. I don't have to always let's go here. Okay, let me just show you here. Okay, I don't know to always click this drop down to see my application. So let me just close this. Okay, and use this one. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do while we are explaining other things, so that we can do things simultaneously, I am going to run this command. Okay, I'm going to run this project. Let's open the terminal. Okay, and then from then let me type npx expo start. Okay, that means we are starting the Expo project. I hope we didn't close our simulator. Okay, our simulator is here. Okay, so let's talk about the folder structure. Okay, so we are using Expo router. Okay, let me just quickly talk about React, pure React, and Next.js. Okay, pure React, it's a library for building efficient and fast user interfaces. Okay, but React doesn't want to do a lot of things. I would like to say, in the programming terms, React choose to stick to the single responsibility principle of the solid principle, doing one thing and only that. Now there is Next.js, which is some sort of more of a production library, okay, which is built on top of React.js. It supplies all the things that React.js chooses not to supply, like your routing, like your server-side rendering, okay. It's more like a pimped version of React, okay. Understanding that, now let's take that to the context of React Native and Expo, okay. React Native is more like a library for some sort of building hybrid application, meaning that both for iOS and Android, okay. But it only does that, okay. Now there is Expo, okay. Expo is just like Next.js, okay, in React, in pure React. So it offers us a lot of things that makes it easier to develop an application. For instance, okay, with Expo you can install an application called Expo Go in your mobile phone, and then you can scan this with that, and your application will run on your mobile phone. Okay, you can also run an app on your web device. Okay, so for now, let me show you. Okay. For instance, here, if you press A, it will open Android. The reason why I will press A is because of my simulator. It's ready. This is made possible by Android Studio. Okay, that means you will have to install Android Studio, and then from then you will run the simulator, and this will show. Obviously, this is a screen from the previous project. Okay, so now I'm going to press A so that this can run in this simulator. Okay, this project of ours. Okay, so as I was saying, that Expo comes with a lot of things that makes it easier for us to, what can I say, to create a React application. And also I've got an application. Let me just type Ubomi app and see if I've got an application on Play Store that I have published, and I have used Expo. Okay, this is the application that I did for a client. It's an audiobook. I'll be very glad if you can just go and install it and try it. Okay, I have used Expo to create this application, and it's live on Google. Okay, where was I? Let me just go back. Okay, so Expo does that. Okay, let's just quickly see if the simulator is already open. Okay, what we're going to do, we are going to stop this one. Okay, stop it, and then stop this one. Okay, just to make sure that we kill this previous instance. Okay, sorry for that. I don't know why it's not moving. Stop. Okay, nice. Okay, and then let me press A here to run on Android. Okay, now I'm hoping it's going to run. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what will appear here. Okay, so as I've told you that Expo makes it easier for us to use React Native. It provides all those things that comes handy when you are developing an application. Okay, one of those things is routing. Okay, just like Next.js, I think Expo has adopted the file-based routing. Okay, what do I mean by that? This is what I mean. Okay, as you can see here, we've got the app folder, and then we've got the tab folder, we've got the layout, and we've got isn't there an index here? Okay, not at the moment. Okay, but file-based routing simply means the routing of the routing system of the application is based on files and folders. Okay, so meaning that, let's say I create a file name index here. Okay, meaning that this index file that I have created here will be registered in the system automatically as one of the routers. So when I want to refer or navigate to this index, okay, I will do that with ease or very simple, because the routing system is monitoring the files and checking what files do we have so that it can register them as routers automatically. Okay, obviously this is not a simple concept to explain. I understand if you don't get it at the moment, but I will explain more as we continue. Okay, and the other thing, in terms of the layout, okay, as you can see in this folder called app, okay, we've got the layout, and usually in most cases there must be an index here. We are going to create that index ourselves, just like in this folder tabs, we've got the layout and we've got an index. Okay, so let me explain according to this folder. A layout, it's more like, let me look at anything that is open. Okay, if this is an application, a layout, it's more like that part of the application that holds things that don't change. For instance, in Next.js, okay, if this tab will always be here, this tab 1, irrespective of where you are, whether you go to tab 2, it's still there. Okay, it's better to put this on a layout because it's something like a template. It's something like a header and a footer in Word. Okay, something that will always be there, like page numbering. Okay, obviously the numbering will change from 1 to 5, but the text page, it's always there. So it's like you will put it. Okay, there is a knock. Let me just quickly pause. Okay, guys, I'm back. My apologies about that. So I was going to say, if you've got page 1, page 2, page 3, as you can see, page is consistent in all pages. So that will be a component that you will put on your layout because it will always be there. So a layout achieve some sort of that thing whereby you know that these things will always be there, and you will put them in the layout, and all the things that will vary and they will change. Sometimes in this layout it will have index, it will have tab 2, it will have so it's something like that. So you always have got a layout and you always got an index. An index is some sort of your entry point. Okay, so in this tab, the entry point is this index. That means this is going to be the first page that the system will load. Okay, when we first loaded this, it showed page 1 or something like that. Let's just quickly see if this is tab 1. As you can see, this is tab 1 screen. Okay, as you can see, this is tab 1 screen on index. Obviously this has not been some sort of the labeling, which is this one. Let me just quickly show you the labeling, which is this one, tab 1, has not been done in this screen. It looks like here is the title. Oh, okay, here is the title. This is tab 1. This tab 1 is this one. Okay, it's this one. Still, it's not the labeling. As you can see, this one is the content. It's not this one. So let me just show you where is this title coming from. Okay, let's just check the layout. Let's check our tabs here. Okay, as you can see, here are all our tabs. Here is the title. Okay, that tab 1, let me just say tab 1 test so that we can see this. Okay, practically, as you can see now, this one is tab 1 test. Okay, if you don't understand what's going on here and you feel like maybe this is a little bit complicated, don't worry. Okay, don't panic, don't be afraid. I'm going to explain everything so that this can be simple. My apologies for that. So that this can be simple. So this is our files and everything. As you can see here, because of the Expo routing, okay, we've got the tabs by default. Okay, you can see that we've got tab 1 and tab 2. Okay, when you are using React navigation, it will mean that you have to set up a lot of things. So these are the advantages that comes with Expo router. I'm not going to make this video longer than it is now. I'm Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. Please do me a favor, shoot a comment below and ask something, or don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise, for me, Matthew Msingati, the hybrid, see you on the next one.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matthew here, the designer and a developer. This is another video on a series, a fintech app with React Native and Expo router. Okay, now let's talk about one of the things that are not easy for us to wrap our head around. Okay, the most important thing and the most important skill that you need to master and what you must be gunning for and shooting for, it's understanding the routing aspect in React Native, okay, to move from one screen to another, and also how is the routing system working or how it works. The reason why I'm saying it's very important because if you can see in mobile development or in mobile apps, okay, it's all about routing. You are always paging, you are always swiping, you are always swiping up, swiping left, swiping down, you are always clicking something and a different page will load. Okay, so you are dealing with a lot of screens moving in and out the frame, so routing is very important. Okay, I don't want to say the bad news, okay, but the tough part about it when it comes to routing in React Native, both with React Router, the platform that Expo routing is based on, okay, both with React Router, React Navigation, sorry, and Expo Router, it's not as easy. Okay, let me just compare it. It's not as easy as only the web like Next.js. Okay, there's a little bit of some tricky things around routing. So in this video, what I want us to do is to just explore the routing, hoping that you are going to get an insight as to number one, why this screen is arranged this way. When we are talking of tab navigation, what do we mean? For that matter, what is this navigation thing? Okay, so I'm just going to explain those concepts so that when we continue, as I am moving up and down these pages, you can understand when there is an error. Why do I go to a certain screen? Why do I go to a certain screen? Okay. Now, in order for us to understand this, okay, let's understand, let's say, the order of execution. Let's say I am an engine, I'm a compiler, okay, I'm running this application. How did I go about rendering this screen? Okay, now let's continue. I go to application. Okay, this is where our app lives. Okay, maybe I should talk a little bit about these files so that I can know I'm done with them. Okay, this is a package.json. It tells you every package that has been installed here. Okay, as you can see, React Navigation, this is a package that has been installed. So this has got all the packages that has been installed. Okay, what else? Some other files are not that important, more especially for this series. Okay, here this is app.json. Okay, this some sort of is a definition of your own application. For instance, this is our name. Okay, this is the version of the application. What else? These are the screen, for instance. This is the icon of the application. As you can see, this is more like production related information. Also, there are splash screens here. As you can see, this is our splash screen when we want to change it. So this is more like production related information. Okay. Let me just end there for now, since this video was basically for this routing. So let's say I'm a compiler. Okay. I go to my application. Okay. Now the question is, when I'm in the application, where do I go? Okay. The first thing that the compiler will go to, it will go to a layout. Remember, it won't go to a layout according to React Native. Okay, there is a company or a library or whatsoever called Expo. Okay, it decided to build on top of React Native. Okay, so this is
Expo's opinion, okay, about the best way to go about in React. I hope you understand that one. So as an Expo compiler, I will go to application and I will look for a layout. Okay, so what must we do? Let's just click layout and see what's there. Okay, the main important files in here in this app is the layout and the index when it's here. But as you can see here, index is not here. Don't mind about that. Okay, let's click on app layout. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, what is the name of this screen? Okay, let's see. Export const. Okay, no, those ones are the settings. Okay, let's go down, go down, go down. As you can see, okay, this file, the actual function, it's root layout. As you can see, function root layout, this is the function. Okay, so it's like the expo the expo executor. Okay, the executing engine, after it goes to the layout, it will look for this function. Okay, look for this function and execute from here. Okay, and then it will do whatever it does until it reaches here. Okay, so for now, please consider this part as the most important part. Okay, consider this part as the most important part. Some of the things I am going to skip, things like the theme providers. The reason is we are not going to use them. Okay, now it will come here and find a stack. Okay, what does this stack means? Okay, now with React navigation, okay, for now I'm just going to say with Expo router. Okay, but this is not a technique necessarily for Expo router. Okay, but now for the sake of making things simpler for you, I don't want to confuse you, I'm going to say Expo router because this is Expo router that has been built on top of React navigation, but this system of doing things belongs to the React navigation. Okay, belongs to this library. Okay, now let's go back and say Expo router. Okay, so now Expo router works on a stack. Okay, let me just go back to the practical side. This is screen let me start here. This is screen number one. Okay, as you can see, as tab number one, right? Yes, but when you click here, there is also another screen. Okay, when we go back here and also click here, there is also another screen, this modal. And then when we, as you can see, when we go back, we are going back to another screen. Okay, what is going on here now? Okay, I wish I could have plugged in my pen, okay, so that I can explain this in terms of drawing. Let me quickly pause the video. I will connect my devices and my pen and then I will draw. Okay, guys, I am back. So what I'm trying to explain, I want to explain this stack. Okay, it's very important that you understand this because the navigation is dependent on your understanding about the stack. Okay, let's go to the drawing board. Okay, just create a new one here. Maximize this and maximize this. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. This is the app folder. Okay, this is the app folder. So as an Expo compiler, I get inside the Expo folder. So what I will do, I will look for layout. Okay. Okay, I will look for layout as an entry. I told you that the most important files here inside this app is the layout and index. Okay, at the moment, there's no index there. We will deal with that one later. And then when I get into this layout, okay, what I'm looking for the stack. Okay, I want to know what's inside this. Okay, close it. Okay, I'm looking for this stack. Okay, as you have seen when we were clicking in the application in the simulator, okay, it looks like there is a stack of screens. Okay, okay, this is the concept. Okay, this is, let's say, the frame. Okay, I'm adopting this frame terminology from movies. Okay, film production. Okay, this is a frame. Okay, this is where these screens are pushed into. Okay, this is a stack of screens. This is a stack of screens. This is a frame, more like a slideshow or a projector. Okay, so what's going on here? There is a stack of screens somewhere. Okay, and these screens are being pushed into the projector. Okay, in different times, in different ways. Okay, okay, okay. So in this stack, let's say this is home page. When you click on next on login, you will go to this screen, login. Okay, when you go back on login, it takes you back to home. Okay, when you click next on login, it takes you to a different tab. It takes you to a different tab. I hope you get this idea. Okay, so this is just the idea of stacks. Okay, let me quickly go back to Visual Studio Code so that we can some sort of put some essence into what I'm saying. So this is a stack. So it's important that you first define a stack if you want to understand navigation. So let's look at what is a stack of screen that are being defined here. Okay, the first screen, it's the tabs screen. Okay, and the second one, it's a modal screen. As you can see, the modal screen is this one. Okay, it's easier because it's just one screen. Okay, but now the tab screen, as you can see, it's a combination of screens. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Okay, so in this video we want to talk about navigation. Remember, I told you navigation, it's how you get from this place to this one, and to this one. And friend, when you are here, how do you go back to where you are coming from? Or when you are here, how do you go back to where you are coming from, as in from here, not the origin? And then from here, how do we go back? So this is some kind of a navigation. Okay, so with Expo, okay, remember I told you behind the scene, this is React navigation. Okay, so let me just call it as it is, as React navigation. I think the idea of navigation will hit the point home, and it really makes sense because Expo is capitalizing on top of it. Okay, with React navigation, okay, with React navigation, okay, it has got different ways of navigation. Okay, okay, what are those different ways of navigation? Number one, it's tab navigation. What is tab navigation? In a mobile device, these bottom tabs, okay, that are here, when you click on them, you can go to a certain screen. When you click on them, you can go to a certain screen. So this is one of the navigation method, let's call them. And then when you are using WhatsApp, we've got some top tabs there. Okay, let's say this is chats, and then this will be statuses and so forth, camera. Okay, as you can see, these are top tabs. Okay, these are top tabs. Okay, and then we've got, I should have mentioned this as the first one, but that's not a problem. Okay, and then we've got your traditional stack. stack navigation. Okay, stack navigation is like your traditional stack navigation. Okay, it doesn't have fancy features like these ones. Okay, as you can see, these ones that you can put the icons here, you can put the name, you need to label the screen and all those things. A stack, it's like a plain way of navigation. Let me put it like, it's like, what can I say, it's like a book. Okay, paging a book, that a normal stack. Okay, you've got a stack of pages on the left, you are paging them like this, one after the other. Okay, there is nothing fancy. If we can take this method, okay, this is just a stack and this stack moves in here as it is, no fancy tabs and icons. Okay, the only thing that might be there is just a labeling, which is this home will be here. That's what the stack has. So you are just pushing this screen as they are. It's like lazy pushing. Okay. So based on what I've told you so far, even though there are other different types of navigation, I think also drawer navigation. Okay. It's important to understand these things, guys. If you can memorize them, please memorize them. Let me just find a way to clean. Let me find a way to clean here. Okay, if you can memorize what I'm telling you about, I will be happy. Okay, because for me, this is what has been some sort of a holding back to understand this React Native and what can I say, routing thing. Okay, and Expo and everything. Okay, so in terms of navigation, okay, we've got a stack which is very important. Okay, because if you miss this theory and jump to code, believe me, it's gonna be a mission and a half. You are going to take time to understand these things. What is a stack and what do I set where? Because it's a little bit. And remember, even though it's still a little bit a mission and a half, we've got React navigation. We've got React navigation as some sort of the foundation of navigation in React Native, and now we've got Expo router. Okay, and now Expo quickly capitalizes on React navigation. Okay, as you can see, even now I'm struggling because I have to mention navigation and I have to mention Expo. So it becomes a confusion. It's a bit of a confusion. But now I'm trying to some sort of resolve that confusion. Okay, we've got a stack. Think of a stack as like paging a book or book pages. Okay, when you turn to the next page, you see a title and the new content. Turn to the next page, see a title and the new content. Okay. What is important about stack navigation? It is the chief of navigation. What do I mean by that? You can't avoid it. You can't say, I'm going to choose between stack navigation and the other navigation. Okay. Even if you, what can I say? But there's a navigation container and there is stack navigation. Oh, okay. I think the chief here is the navigation container than the stack. Okay, my apologies for that. Okay, so let's say a stack navigation. Okay, it's like browsing the book pages. Okay, meaning that we've got page one, page two. It's like we are just pushing screens into the view. Okay, simple like that. I will talk about the chief thing later. I think it's a navigation container. Okay, I will talk about it later. And then from then, secondly, after this, we've got tab navigation. Let me say top tab. Okay, the top tab, it comes with this indicator, this small bar is an indicator. Okay, let's say this is an icon, this is an icon, this is an icon. This top bar is here. Once you click here, it will move here. Once you click here, it will move here, just like WhatsApp. And also it comes with some gestures. Okay, gestures meaning that you can swipe like with your finger from left to right. That's a top tab. And then we've got the bottom tab. Okay, we've got the bottom tab. Okay, we've got the bottom tab. The bottom tab, I think you are used to it. It's this one. Okay,
with icons here. Whenever you click, it goes there. Okay. And then number 4, we've got the drawer. Okay, the drawer is that one where, let's say there are some settings somewhere here or here. It's a hamburger. When you click here, okay, then there will be a drawer popping in from here. Okay, there will be a drawer popping in from here. Okay, these are the concept of a React navigation, let's say, library. Okay, let's just quickly go to React navigation library. As you can see, where is docs? Okay, as you can see, you see these are stacks and tabs and everything modal. Okay, so these things, if you want to know the source and understand them without Expo, okay, this is where you go. Guys, I'm going to face a major disturbance. I don't have a choice. I have to close the video.